We begin tonight with breaking news. It's out of Stutsman County in the search for a missing woman.
Authorities say the car belonging to Sonia Henley of Buchanan has been pulled from the slough near her home. The sheriff says the car was empty and the driver's side window was down. Henley disappeared Sunday night and she didn't return home from her son's house. The car was discovered yesterday, submerged, and crews battled frigid temps to get the vehicle out.
We weren't ready for her to go, but she always lived her life ready to go meet God and ready for that next journey.
The sheriff says sonar will be used to further search the frigid water to try and locate Henley's body.
I just don't understand why a judge would say no. Because it's inconvenient to the offender? What about the inconvenience it's been to our family, to our daughter? It was so inconvenient for him to make the choice to rape her.
A Fargo family is demanding changes after they say their renewal of a no-contact order against a 14-year-old boy was denied by a Cass County judge yesterday.
In 2018, the boy was convicted of raping their 4-year-old daughter. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with the family, who says justice needs to be served for their little girl.
The wounds are still deep 15 months after the Struby's then 4-year-old daughter came to them saying she'd been raped 3 separate times by a boy who at the time was helping babysit.
How could someone do this to a 4-year-old little girl?
The Strubys say the 13-year-old was sentenced in January to 1 year of probation and 1 year of outpatient care. The boy also has a restraining order against him, something the Strubys went to court for yesterday to renew, pushing for just 1 more year of no contact.
He's a danger, and we don't want him contacting her. We don't want him to be around her.
But the Strubys say the boy's lawyer contested by saying the order wouldn't allow the boy to go to his church, the same one the Strubys go to, or any local athletic events.
It was an inconvenience to his life, and the judge agreed with them. According to the judge and to his attorney, he doesn't pose a threat, even though he's been convicted of raping my daughter 3 times.
Meaning, once the current order is lifted in January, the Strubys will be on high alert, hoping to not cross paths with their daughter's rapist.
We risk her having a flashback, panic attack, hysterical crying. It's awful, and so we would have to leave. If we run into him at the grocery store, we have to leave. They're punishing the victim.
The Strubys say they are now looking for a new church and likely won't attend many local events.
It's not worth the risk to cause more trauma and have to start from scratch again.
And while the Strubys say they would like to have a restraining order until their daughter is 18, they're only asking for 1 more year and hope to take this back to court soon. In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
The Strubys helped fight for Natalie's Law, mandating juvenile offenders found guilty of gross sexual imposition to be placed at a juvenile detention facility to undergo psychosexual evaluation. The law officially went into effect August 1st.
A trooper jumped into action this afternoon after he noticed something wasn't right on the interstate. Authorities say a North Dakota Highway Patrol trooper was driving on I-29 south of Grand Forks when he saw wheel tracks leading off the road. He followed those tracks to a truck that had a man slouched over inside. The trooper broke the window and began CPR. The man was taken to an area hospital for a medical evaluation. His condition is unknown at this time.
Our wet fall is still causing some major headaches for communities up and down the Red River Valley.
It's gotten so bad for one West Fargo family that their backyard is disappearing right before their eyes. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie shows us what they're up against.
A battle against Mother Nature.
You can actually see the river from our house and just enjoyed the heck out of that aspect of it.
Brian and Sue Bohr have called this place home for the past 25 years. It's nestled right on the Cheyenne River, north of I-94.
We're at the river. This area has dropped down. It's almost about 2 feet now also, which is sloughing off into the river.
The Boers tell me their yard used to be level the whole way across, and over the course of a couple of years, it just kept getting lower and lower and lower. This is what it looked like at the end of November. Massive chunks of their backyard are shedding off into the river. You can see just how close this shed is to the diversion, and when you measure it out, it's less than 10 feet. The Boers say the river levels are the lowest they've ever seen them. But West Fargo city engineers tell us that's no accident.
The river levels have been high this fall, and Traditionally, we don't experience this in the fall, we experience it in the spring, right? So what that means is operating the diversion, we have to shut the river gates.
The Boers are looking forward to the completion of the diversion in hopes they won't lose any more of this place they call home.
The rapid flow of that water also creates erosion. It's kind of twofold. Yes, it might help with some stability, but at the same time, it causes erosion.
Right now, engineers say there's not much that can be done. They encourage neighbors to stay away and let Mother Nature take its course. In West Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
City officials encourage people living near the river not to put anything close to the river line. Also, don't uproot any trees that are close to the edge.
The alarm is sounding on what authorities are calling a crisis facing Minnesota firefighters. A new study says that Minnesotans are spending a lot less on fire protection, including firefighters themselves. The average per household cost of fire protection in the U.S. is $420. In Minnesota, it's $234. Statewide, fire departments are struggling to recruit and retain firefighters. Most across the state are volunteer. Only 7.5% are full-time.
A new resource for veterans is coming to Fargo. The VA has awarded a lease for North Dakota's first ever Veterans Community Resource and Referral Center. The center will help homeless veterans or those at risk of becoming homeless by helping them find housing. It will also promote physical and mental health and assist them in becoming more involved in the community. The center will be ready by next June.
Minnesota's governor wants to make the state more age-friendly. There are 1 million older adults in the state right now, and by 2020, the number of adults over age 65 will exceed the number of children under 18. Tim Walz says he wants to make Minnesota the best state to live at any age. He signed an executive order today to help guide an action plan to make it accommodating for all.
A Northern Cass student can wear the proof of their success, and so can you. It's called Pandamonium, and it's the winner of Right Foot's latest design contest. 6 students from Northern Cass Digital Art and Design class competed to create the top design, and here are some of the honorable mentions. The designs were posted on Facebook, and the one with the most votes was turned into a sock. If you'd like to buy a pair of the winning socks, head to our website and click on this story.
An extreme flight tried to take off from Jamestown today, but equipment failure kept it grounded. For the 7th year in a row, Tim Cloyd tried flying in his hot air balloon to raise money for cancer research. Earlier flights have raised $41,000. Despite the high altitudes and the cold temps, Cloyd says what he goes through is nothing compared to what cancer patients experience.
I do need to go to high altitudes of 17,000 feet. I need oxygen to survive. It's extreme. The cold temperatures would be colder than what we would seen this morning, maybe 17 below. But anyway, the temperatures are what I go through is insignificant compared to what cancer patients go through.
Cloyd says that he'll try again between now and March.
Having fresh food like fruits and vegetables available at your fingertips might seem normal to you, but it isn't for everyone. To help, Minnesota's Ag Department is accepting applications for its Good Food Access Program grants. $225,000 is available to grocery stores, small food retailers, even farmers markets, so they can buy equipment or make changes that will allow them to stock more fresh foods.
And if you're looking for something a little more indulgent, the best cake in North Dakota is right here in Fargo, according to the Food Network. It says the lemon curd layer cake at Nicole's Fine Pastry, they describe that as being spectacular.